Welcome, students. This session will be a very interesting one because in this session, we are going to discuss about different methods of cooking. All of us know that different types of food are prepared using different methods of cooking. But we give importance more to the taste of the food and we know more about the taste of the food rather than the techniques that are involved in the preparation of that tasty food which we like. This session will focus on what is cooking, why cooking is necessary, and the advantages and the disadvantages of cooking. In this session, we will see about the methods of cooking foods. Introduction. Some foods like fruits, vegetables, and nuts can be eaten raw. All the foods cannot be eaten raw. There are a few foods which can be consumed raw, which means it does not require any cooking. Certain vegetables like carrot, cucumber, onion, tomatoes can be eaten raw. And also all the different types of fruits can be consumed raw. Fruits does not require any type of cooking. And the nuts like groundnuts, almonds, cashew, pista, all these can be consumed raw. Whereas the other foods such as the cereals, pulses, the root vegetables, all these need to be prepared or need to be cooked so that you can consume them. None of us eat the raw rice or the raw dal, is it not? Even if we eat the raw rice, only a small amount, maybe a few numbers can be consumed. You cannot consume more amount of raw rice because we don't have the ability to digest the raw rice or the raw dal. Only a selected few foods can be consumed as a raw food. It is good that they are consumed raw since they retain most of the nutritive value. So whatever foods are consumed raw are good because there is no loss of nutrients at all. Only during the cooking of food there is loss of nutrients. Otherwise there is no loss of nutrients. So if we consume the food raw, then there is no loss of nutrients and it is good also in some way because there will be no loss of the nutrients. To become usable, food must undergo some physical and chemical changes through the processes such as cooking, digestion, absorption, and metabolism. So the food has to be converted to nutrients. Only when the food is converted to nutrients, they can be utilized by the body. They can be absorbed by the body and it will be utilized for the various functions like growth, like the maintenance of the body processes, production of heat, and also to provide the defense mechanism. So for all these functions, the food has to be converted into nutrient. And for the food to be converted to nutrient, the first step is it has to undergo some physical changes as well as chemical changes. These physical and chemical changes are brought about by certain processes called as cooking. Only by cooking, physical and chemical changes can be brought about in the food. Of course, there are other methods also by which physical and chemical changes are brought about. Since here in this unit, we are focusing on cooking. Cooking brings about physical and chemical changes. And after the food is cooked, we don't get the nutrients right away. The food that we cook has to be consumed. Consume means you have to eat the food. And the food that we eat has to be digested in the digestive system, and the complex compounds will be converted into simpler compounds. The carbohydrates will be converted into glucose. Proteins will be converted to amino acids. Fat will be converted to fatty acids and glycerol. And the complex compounds after digestion are converted into simpler compounds. They are now absorbed into the bloodstream, and the blood will carry the nutrients to the cells and the tissues where the metabolism will take place. Metabolism is the breakdown of the nutrients will take place in the cells. Cooking is the first step to make the food available to the body. Only if you cook the food, the nutrients will be available to the body. So it is the first and the most important step. Cooking of food is the use of heat to bring about desirable changes in food that is being consumed. So what is cooking after all? Cooking is nothing but we use heat in different ways so that we bring in desirable changes in the food. How did man first learn to cook the food? He was earlier a hunter. Man was living in the jungles, in the forest. And he used to consume the fruits, the vegetables, the roots that are available. He used to hunt the animals. So while he was hunting the animal, accidentally an animal it fell into the fire. And when he consumed that, it tasted good. And that is how he learned that food can be cooked. So cooking of food is nothing but using heat, and we use the heat to bring desirable changes. Desirable changes means those that are favorable, that will enhance, improve the quality of the food that we consume. And why should we cook the food after all? What are the reasons for cooking the food? The first thing or the first reason to cook the food is to make the food soft. To soften the food, some food is tough and they need thorough cooking. Certain food like wheat, maize, they are all very tough and they have to be cooked thoroughly. They have to be made soft before they in the form of cooking. Only then it can be consumed. Whole wheat nobody consumes. The wheat is broken, and the broken wheat can be used in the preparation of upma. And there we add plenty of water so that the rough or the tough wheat is converted into a soft upma. Or otherwise, the wheat is converted into a flour, wheat flour. And then using the wheat flour, we prepare different types of food. So the food has to be made soft. Similarly, while cooking rice, the raw rice is very hard. But when we cook the rice, it becomes soft. So it makes the food soft. Only after thorough cooking, the digestive juices will be able to penetrate the food and digest easily. So the purpose of cooking is it will help in the process of digestion. During the digestion of food, the digestive enzymes are secreted in the digestive system, starting from saliva. And then it goes into the, through the esophagus, the food reaches the stomach. When it reaches the stomach, there are the gastric juices. The gastric juice contains different types of enzymes. They also help in the digestion of food. Later, from the stomach, the food reaches the duodenum. In the duodenum, the pancreas will secrete a set of pancreatic juice, and they will also help in the digestion of the food, right? So the digestion of the food by the enzyme can take place only if the food is cooked. If you consume the raw food, then the digestive enzymes may not be able to digest the food completely. Maybe partial digestion can take place, but complete digestion is not possible. So, for complete digestion to take place, food has to be cooked. Only then the digestive enzymes will be able to penetrate the food and it will help in the digestion of the food. Cooking will loosen the tissue and make the food soft.